My name is Joe Peroni, and this is the Rise Above Project. And today I want to talk about the power of appreciation, which I guess you can say is the opposite of the show I did last week about toxic dumping or toxic venting. I want to start off by playing a video that's going to underscore what I'm talking about today. Now, I've been having trouble getting it at the exact beginning of the video, so I might have to play it twice through so you can get the point. Let me set this up by saying it's going to be two men who are seeing a prostitute and they want to pay her for something, obviously. So let's take a look at that and then we'll get on with the show.
You appreciate the sacrifices I make for the family.
$500.
Last month it was 100.
Yeah, well, inflation. You want the damn appreciation or
Yes,
not?
yes,
Stop
yes.
wasting my damn time.
Hurry it up! My wife thinks I'm getting toilet paper!
Yeah, so does mine. You're not special.
That's what she says!
I appreciate all the sacrifices you make for your family.
Oh, God, thank you. Thank you.
I want you to not tell me how to drive.
$100 around the block.
How much to tell me you appreciate the sacrifices I make for the family?
$500.
Last month it was 100.
Yeah, well, inflation. You want the damn appreciation or
Yes,
not?
yes,
Stop
yes.
wasting my damn time.
Hurry it up! My wife thinks I'm getting toilet paper!
Yeah, so does mine. You're not special.
That's what she says!
I appreciate all the sacrifices you make for your family.
Oh, God, thank you. Thank you.
I want you to not tell me how to drive.
$100 around the block.
How much?
Okay, so you get the point. The power of appreciation. Now, why is it so important? Because we want to feel seen. And when I mean all of us want to be seen. All of us want to feel valued. All of us want to be acknowledged. It's a fundamental human need. As a matter of fact, I would go further than that. I would say every living thing has that need. I notice it with my dogs and my cat. They never want to be off to the side, right? They want to be part of the family. They want to be spoken to nice. If there's any raising of voices, it makes them very nervous, right? So obviously they don't know exactly what you're saying, but they do really tune in to the tone of your voice, right? So they want to be connected. They want to be seen. They want to be taken care of. They want to be appreciated, petted, all of that, all of it. You get my point. But here's something I think is worrisome, because I notice this a lot with therapists, is that they push this thought that we shouldn't need to be externally validated, right? Everything's supposed to be you're internally validated, therefore you're more powerful, therefore if you don't need external validation, it makes you a stronger person because then you are completely independent and you don't need somebody else. It sounds okay on paper. I don't know if most of the world actually would believe that. I think they would only believe that in a very individualistic society. Because most societies, or I shouldn't say most, because I'm not really sure, but there's a lot of societies where family is still very important. It's not about being as individualistic as possible and then trying to make the most cash you can to have this big, massive house that then you could live by yourself. It's not about that. It's connecting to people. As human beings, we're wired for connection. So with this, I think it's an unhealthy thought that we need to move people, especially in therapy, to be these externally validating, hating people. Like there's something wrong with that. I think we actually, deep down inside, we all want to be appreciated. For example, we all want to be appreciated at work. Money is a form of external validation. If you don't want to be externally validated with money, then just volunteer then, right? Or never ask for a raise. So yes, money is a form of external validation. I think we all want to be appreciated in our relationships. One of the questions that I would have for certain clients that I have, right? Because I do have certain clients over the years when you're doing couples therapy or even individual therapy They'll say that my partner shouldn't have the need to be validated. Therefore, I don't need to express certain things to them. They're too needy. And I'm like, okay, that's one thought. And then I might hear somebody else say that they feel really guilty for wanting to be appreciated and validated by their partner. And I'm like, where are we getting this? Like, they're on TikTok too much or whatever, because that's not normal human developmental needs, right? Like, we want to be close, we want to be connected. So I don't tell people what to do, but I would ask them a question. One of the questions might be, why would you want to be in a relationship at all if you weren't being validated in some way or appreciated in some way? What's the point of the relationship then? I don't know if there is one. Everybody else has to answer that for themselves. But I think every time we're in a relationship, even if we look at it from an existential point of view, there's about 8 billion people on the planet. We're all human beings. What makes us special? Not much. I mean, we all basically do the same things. So in a relationship, we have a witness to our life. Like, who else is going to care if we had a salad for lunch yesterday? Who else is going to care if we got stuck in traffic and we were a little bit annoyed? Nobody cares. So when you have a partner, you can talk about the mundane things in your life and actually make it that it's important. And again, we do have a witness to our lives, which is probably the number one reason for a relationship and why we want to be connected to people. So appreciation, validation. Let's look at some positive effects. Obviously, an improved mood, and it also, if you can believe this, enhances cognitive function. But here's the interesting thing about appreciation. To the person who's getting the appreciation or the compliment, it helps them. Obviously, it makes them feel better. But for the person who is extending the compliment or the appreciation, it also helps them as well. Think about it like this. Last week we talked about toxic dumping and toxic venting. If you're an angry person and you are leading with your anger and you see the world as this dangerous, horrible place and you don't see the good things in it, and you talk about it over and over and over again, how are you going to be a happy person when you're only focusing on the negative? Now, to be sure, there's a lot of negative in the world, right? You don't have to look very far. You could watch the news for 2 seconds and see something negative. You could also know that every living thing is going to die. Okay, got that. So in those times of knowing how life is very, very difficult, we need to be able to find the good things about life and appreciate the things that we do have. And when you search the world or search people or search things for the good that they have and the good that they have done for you and the good that's just in the world in general that has come to you or the good that you can do for other people, you are going to be generally a more happy human being. So appreciation is bidirectional. It works for the person giving the compliment and it works for the person getting the compliment. So it increases happiness, it increases your overall energy, it increases your ability to have good sleep, and we could figure this out too, right? Because people who are generally angry and don't see the good in the world tend to have more anxiety and depression. It's harder to sleep that way, or at least have a good, comfortable sleep. Appreciation increases social bonds, it builds trust between people, it builds a sense of belonging, and it reinforces a sense of purpose. So for all these reasons, I think we need to lean on appreciation and validation. And you should not feel guilty for wanting external validation from the people in your life that you care about. I was going to say don't listen to TikTok, but I think that's going to get banned soon, or maybe it has. But anyway, there's other social media that also you're going to hear things that are not correct. So if you're interested in being a more appreciative person, the good thing here, it's like a muscle. It can be conditioned. So just like you can condition yourself to have appreciation, you can also condition yourself to be negative. And we all know these negative people, and we don't really want to be around them, right? Unless we're negative too, and then misery loves company, that type of thing. But although misery might love company, it's not beneficial. So one thing that you could consider to do is to think of one thing per day that you're grateful for. Just the fact that you woke up in the morning, you could be grateful about that. So just in case you're going to tell me you have nothing to be grateful for. You can also compliment somebody every day. If you have a partner, this is a good practice, right? So just like in that video I showed you, the guy was paying a prostitute because he wanted to be appreciated for what he does for the family, which is, although the video's funny, there's also a sadness to it, because I know a lot of people like this that don't get appreciated for all the things that they do, but it is mentioned about all the negative about them and the things that they haven't done, or these things that they did do in the past that didn't come out correctly. We tend to enhance that. So it is a good practice to try to think of one thing per day that you can compliment somebody for, whether it's your closest partner or a friend or something like that. Think about it even with your own pet, right? We say good boy, good girl, this type of thing. They can hear your tone. What if you were to yell at your dog every day and with this nasty tone? Your dog, of course, it's not going to rebel against you, but how is it going to feel good? How is it going to have a good life? It's not. Another thing you can do is try to condition yourself to look at the silver lining in something, in anything. For example, let's look at let's say a movie that I watched the other day. Not my favorite movie, but I'm not going to complain about it, right? It was okay. It was a little bit of escapism. I liked the way they filmed it and where they filmed it. They had some beach scenes and stuff like that. So there was some things to like about it, although I didn't love the movie. But I'm not going to complain about that it's not the next Gone with the Wind or whatever. It was an okay movie. There was some things I liked. Music. A lot of times I hear music when I'm at the gym and they play this music that I just really can't stand. But the thing that I could maybe appreciate about it is that, that some other people like it. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that, I don't know, every once in a while there might be a good rhyme or something like that. I can find something. Even when they're stealing from other people's stuff, I could at least say that they are bringing up certain types of music that were really good, and they're bringing it into the year 2025. So maybe I can appreciate a little bit of that. So that there's always something, even if it's a bad situation that you're going through, maybe you could learn something about it. Maybe that because you experienced a bad situation and were able to live through it, maybe rise above it, maybe at some point you can use that wisdom to help somebody else. So there's your silver lining. So what's the point of today? Here's the conclusion. Appreciation can not only help you heal, but it will help others heal. That's why it's important. So the power of appreciation. My name is Joe Peroni. This is the Rise Above Project. Please subscribe and tell a friend. Thank you.